I think a lot of people just think I just walk around always smiling and stuff like that. It's just, it's your mindset on how you go through things, and know that, it's kind of hard to put it also. I just do life. I don't know how to describe everything, but you have to be comfortable with yourself, just in and out. And that's not constant, constant work for me. Like, I can always turn on a happy anytime, but it's nice to sit with myself when I'm sad. And it's okay to sit with myself and understand, like, what was the situation that made me angry, and, why do I feel that way? And I do sit in silence a lot. Yeah. And I highly recommend being alone and sitting in silence and really kind of figuring yourself out from the inside out. Yeah. And know that you're all these things, and that happiness and the way that you are is always a choice. Everything's of direct balance. You have life, you have death. Without death, it would give life no meaning, because people wouldn't give a shit what they do, right? Right. If life, and then it's the same direct rebalance. If life didn't exist and we all just were like, we wouldn't exist. Yeah. It's just, you're going to find your way through all that. And like in a pendulum, on some moments, you're going to feel very light and airy into those moments. And that's great. And it's okay to find, yourself in a darker moment and feel that sadness and feel the anger and understand, okay, this is what I feel right now, and feel it that moment. And that also releases you from carrying that with you. Does that make sense?
No, I can't even tell you how much that makes sense, because I think one of my biggest issues, and this is why, alcohol became such a big part of my life and such a problem for me, is that I didn't want to feel those dark feelings. I only wanted to chase the happy all the time. And, ultimately, like, a lot of us do. Turns out drinking 24/7 isn't good for you, and ultimately makes you fucking miserable. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, it's actually an antidepressant. It's actually depressant.
Didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So, now that I have several years of sobriety under my belt, those moments of having to feel my feelings, as unfucking comfortable as they are, and believe me, I got a heavy dose of that when my dad died. Like, so grateful to now, like, embrace that process, because the crying, the allowing those feelings to be felt, to be acknowledged, is the only way that they're going to pass through you and continue on. Because you're right, you will. Otherwise, you carry them with you.
You carry it with you, and that's what makes people sick.
Yeah.
If you carry and harbor any emotion, like extreme goodness and extreme sadness, it's all the same. Like, it's all extremes, right? Yeah. If you're going to carry that, just know you're going to carry that weight. You're going to probably make yourself sick. So it's best or for me, and I can only speak for my own personal journey and everything like that. But for me, it's better for me to go in as a warrior towards these things, and try to understand it as best of my abilities, and feel it and cry and scream and feel that gut-wrenching thing. Go out to the mountains, scream it out, take a log, beat the tree, feel it. Yeah. You're alive. And how lucky are you to feel those feelings? Yeah. I mean, that's a blessing as it is. Yeah. So I have so much gratitude for those moments, just as much. And sometimes those catastrophic kind of unleashed moments are your catalyst into a better life and a better you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been trying to, like, harness that. Like, okay, what can I take away from my father's death? And, I guess it would be like appreciation for life.
Yeah, and transmutation is a really good way of taking, like, these situations that come into our lives that could really tear us apart and are traumatic, and transmute that into something beautiful. Yeah. And that's what I try to do with anything that comes my way. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this on. I'm going to recognize it. I'm going to hug it. I'm going to feel it the fuck out. And then I'm going to transmute that into some beautiful art. Or I'm going to, probably that's where my calendar came from. Because I was coming through something and I needed to express, this feminine, divine, whatever I was feeling. I did it more on a zodiac base, but I feel like we're all part of each other in some way. So, yeah, I really highly recommend transmutation.
Yeah, because you're so right. I mean, the greatest pieces of art, the greatest artists, those are all been born out of, like, pain and tragedy. Yeah. It's like that's what drives creativity, is, like, awful as that is. But I guess you know, that's the spectrum, right? You have to feel the sad to appreciate the happy. And then, and I think people also relate to, I mean, you know, some of the greatest movies of all time are those movies that like have those heart-wrenching moments where you really feel for them, right? But that's like the human condition. We all relate to that.
I can listen to a conversation and feel that, you know what I mean? But I kind of think there's such a beauty into pain, and I think it's actually really beautiful when you can kind of really kind of feel it out, feel all the wrinkles of it out. Yeah. And I don't know, I'm just very accepting of it. Was I always that way? No, I think I've just become that over time, and probably just with certain practices in my life and everything like that, and really kind of accepted this is how it's going to go. This is how life is.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you want to support my show, then you should think about joining my Patreon. At my Patreon, I offer all kinds of amazing perks in exchange for your financial support. From live streams of my interviews as they are happening, to bonus Q&As, behind the scenes photos and videos of my shoots, plus cool merch like stickers, mugs, and hoodies, we have you covered. So go to patreon.com/HollyRandallUnfiltered, and while you're at it, make sure that you click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of my new updates.